Okay. So, well, he asked what I was going to ask. Everybody did enjoy the movie, yes? So my first question to you is, considering that most people know you from Blackish, Grownish, and they know you doing comedy, why did you want to do something dramatic? And what made you choose this piece?
Well, I was fortunate enough to get approached with the script from Simon Story, who's our director and writer. And he had already created a short. And so I had the opportunity to watch the short, and I kind of fell in love with it. And I was like, let's make this. We have to make this. And so I hounded him every week until he gave me a producer credit. And then we finally started getting it rolling. We fundraised. We made this on a shoestring budget. It was around $750, which is really small for a film. So I'm very, very, very happy with the way that it turned out. Simon's a genius when it comes to editing. We cut it together, did the whole thing. And yeah, I think I just resonated with Daniel. I've been doing a lot of work with the National Foster Youth Institute, and foster youth is kind of something that I don't know. I never gave much thought to, which sounds horrible, but it wasn't something that I often thought about. Seems like we got a mic in the room. Where is that? Can we bring it over here? No, it's okay. But after talking to a lot of foster youth, I kind of got inspired, and I was like, okay, I have a project. What the hell was that?
That was to wake up the people who fell asleep.
But I kind of got inspired after talking to a lot of the foster youth in the program to play this role, and I just thought Daniel. I don't know, I love the unapologetic love that the two brothers show each other. I don't think there's often times in film, there's a lot of machismo around brotherhood. And I just love that they were just unabashedly there for each other. I love that Daniel fully invested himself into the caregiver role. And I also love that he didn't handle it with kid gloves. He's like, this is still my brother. Like, I'm gonna get pissed when he does something fucking stupid. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse or anything like that. It's our Q&A. We do whatever we want. Right? But yeah, I loved. It just felt authentic to me, and the script spoke to me. Simon, I loved his approach and his vision, and I mean his music taste was on fire. So I was like, all right, this is gonna be splendid.
All right. I have to ask you a question. I asked this question of Ice Cube once. Why do you think that a comedic actor can make the transition to dramatic and kill it? Maybe win an Oscar, but it's a lot harder for a dramatic actor to be funny. Because, correct me here, you all were moved by his performance, right? Just as much as he made you laugh.
I can't hear you.
I said, you were moved by his performance. Just as much as he's made you laugh, he made you feel something. So my question to him is, why do you think comedic actors are able to go from comedy to drama? Maybe win an Oscar, but a dramatic actor often is not that funny.
Wow. I don't know, that's a big question. I feel like when it comes to comedy versus drama, all that kind of stuff, I feel like at the end of the day, it's all acting. It just, you get the material, you digest it, you kind of just approach it. I mean, it's like trying to solve a puzzle. Like you're trying to, and you have a partner, you have somebody else who's working on that puzzle with you. So I think the transition for, just happens naturally, I would say. I think you should be approaching every single piece that you look at. I wouldn't say through the same lens, but approach it to kind of solve the problem and figure out what you want from the scene, what your character wants. There we go. Thank you. Oh my God. Wow, honestly, there you go.
Are there two?
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. No problem, no problem. Yeah. I don't think that one's working. You know what, I'm just gonna use my voice. You guys hear me in the back? Yeah. Okay, perfect, cool. I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's all the same thing. We're actors, it doesn't matter what mask you put on. You just have to approach the piece just kind of open and willing to figure things out.
All right, my next question is, for you, what, in making this, what was the most challenging part and what's been the most rewarding part?
The most challenging part of making it, I think, was getting it made and getting it greenlit was the most challenging part. That's like once we were on set and once we had all of our pieces in place, we had Cliff, we had Cedric, we had Lonnie, who did an amazing job. It was kind of smooth sailing. They were excellent scene partners. Everything flowed really well. Simon had a vision. I think, getting it greenlit, as with anything in this industry, is the most difficult part. So yeah, I'd say that was the
most rewarding?
The most rewarding is getting to see it here today with you guys. Getting to see it in theaters, there's nothing more rewarding than that.
All right, maybe I'll open it up. Does anybody here have questions? Because I get asking questions all night. Right there.
I'm just curious, since you come from mostly doing comedic stuff, do you prefer doing more comedy or more drama?
I honestly don't have a preference. It just depends on the script for me, really. It depends on the story. I don't really have like a genre preference, I would say. Oh, it's the boring answer, but it's the truth.
All right, I have a question for you. Jumping off of what he said, to me, I think as you define your art defines you. So making this film, this is the first film you got the executive producer credit, you really wanted this to happen. What have you learned about yourself in making this film?
I learned that producing is really hard, which I didn't expect. I've given producers a lot of shit for a lot of years, and I feel kind of bad now. I think looking inwardly, I think I also learned that I'm very analytical, which is a very helpful skill when it comes to producing and not so helpful when you're an actor. I don't know, I try to problem solve everything. Like you heard me say, I approach acting like a problem to solve. And so I think I learned that I have a very analytical brain.
Okay. Right here.
What do you want us to walk away from in this film?
I think I want everyone to walk away from How I Learned to Fly with the feeling that no matter how hopeless and dire your situation is, you can always learn how to fly. You know what I mean? Daniel escaped in his mind to his fly escape or whatever, that's what I called it in my head. And I don't know, that you can dream, you know what I mean? To be not where you are. Because you could not be in as dire of a situation as Daniel or Eli, but we all face challenges each and every day. And it's being able to overcome those with mental fortitude that kind of creates a better future for yourself. So I think, being able to weather the storm is very important, and that's kind of what I got from the film and what I took from the film. And wherever you place your mindset, that's where you're gonna go. So.
Right here, and then you.
First, congrats on the film.
Thank you.
Super exciting. What was your casting process for the actors? From like the guidance counselor to Eli, and how involved were you?
I honestly was not super involved with casting except for our main cast members. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, I love Lonnie from This Is Us, and I think he was the most pivotal role in the film. And yeah, there's something about, he has like kind of an old soul, and it was super fun to hang out with him each and every day on set, that I was like, we did a really good job with this one. And I don't know, he had a wisdom about him when we met, and we talked and discussed Eli, and I just knew that he could do it. I don't know how to explain it. And obviously Meth and Cedric, there was no auditioning process for that. We were just like, yo, we got a role for y'all, so pull up. So yeah.
You there in the back.
Was it hard for you to come out of that character?
I mean, at night it was like, I don't know. It's like I'm used to a lot of the other projects that I've worked on in the past. It's like you go home and you kind of leave your work on set. And this character, I was just so emotionally exhausted each and every day. It was like, damn, can anything work out for them? And yeah, it was definitely, I mean, after we wrapped, I was like, shit, I'm out of here, y'all. I'm headed to Mexico for a little vacation. So after that, it was definitely easy to step out. But every night going home was definitely a challenge. Even watching it right now, I had to sometimes put my hat down because I was like, damn, this is some trauma bonding type shit. So yeah, it was hard.
All the way in the back.
Okay, so my question is for you. What was one of the most happiest moments of filming? As you see, it's somber mostly, but I want to know, like, what was happiest for you?
Happiest. I like that question because what I like about our movie so much is that while they get kicked so much while they're down, there are moments of triumph, and they do finally succeed in the end. It's a very classic tale, but I feel like it's just, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You know, there's a lot of bad shit happening to us, and it's always nice to have something to look forward to. And so the happiest moment, I don't know, I love filming all the laundromat scenes. They were really fun. Michelle is hilarious. I remember Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo came out while we were on set, and we watched the music video and like sang it in the trailer, and that was like one of my happiest moments on set. So
Right there.
How did you,
the folks a little bit when he got the answer. That was kind of hard. I like that. I'm gonna take that. 2017. Let's get it.
an analytical person, how did you balance executive producer, but also acting with making the most time with the demand, set your also stay going home, stay healthy, and balancing everything?
You don't have to figure that one out for me, partner. I don't know. I think, you know, just like everyone else does, you keep it pushing. You try to do the best that you can, and just, yeah, I don't even know. I'd have to look inward and meditate a little bit on that one. Just figure it out, I guess. Yeah.
All right, I have a question for you. A lot of your performance, even though neither of you have a lot of dialogue, and a lot of what happens plays out in your face, in your body language, what would you say you drew upon from your past experience really to help inform this performance?
I feel like, I mean, I don't know, we've all had those difficult moments when it comes to familial relations. And I kind of try to draw upon those. And I don't know, once I was in it, I kind of started to feel what Daniel was feeling in a weird way. And I don't know, I felt like I was Daniel. I kind of just like pulled on his experience and what was happening. And I think a lot of that has to do with, you know, our other actors who were in the film, Method Man, Cedric, Lonnie. Everybody did such a fantastic job that it kind of placed me right where I was supposed to be. So I feel like I was drawing off of their energy, they were feeding off of my energy. And yeah, it's just a really fucked up situation, you know what I mean? So I just, I thought about where Daniel would be in those moments and in that headspace, and seeing Eli struggle with what he had to go through with, all of his trauma related to losing their family. I kind of pulled on that stuff. Yeah.
That was it. Any more questions?
Yeah.
Okay, right there in the back, and then you.
What was the biggest thing you learned, like either as an actor or the first time being an executive producer, like over the course of this project? If you could take away like one thing, what would you say?
Get out of your head. I think like I said, I'm very analytical. I tend to overthink everything. And I think just leaping into things, like taking that first step is the most important step. And continuing to take those steps and moving towards your goal. That's from the producer side. I think from the actor side, also get out of your head. And just live and breathe and be present. I think just be in that moment, which is like, the most tried and true advice, but just being present and being in the moment is the most important thing we can do as actors, and to just truly listen to somebody, which I think is a very valuable skill in life, but also very important in acting. So.
Yeah, mine is more of a comment.
Yeah.
Because watching you from Blackish up until this point, I've seen how you've grown. And beautiful job. I just also wanted to kind of get a sense of like where your head was in this movie. Do you tend to like being the character? Do you find that it stays with you sometimes, even after this is all over?
I feel like whenever you perform or you're becoming a character, you always have to bring a little piece of yourself to that character. And I think that's very important. And also as actors, we try to, be chameleons and change. But one of the most important marks of mega actors, legends like Denzel and people like that, is that they're bringing a part of themselves to every role. And so I think, of course, a little bit of the character is going to come with you when you bring yourself to it. But I tend to try to leave things on set, you know what I mean? So at this point, I feel like I'm fully me. I'm not going to pull an Austin Butler and start talking like Elvis. So.
I have another question. Doing a film like this, I think for everybody here, and anybody that sees the film, it makes you realize how fragile things are. Like anything could happen. And we've all read how most people in this country are maybe a couple paychecks away from something disastrous. For you now, having played this and been in that head, when you see someone, the corner of your eye, when you see homeless, do you look at them any differently now? Not that you were not sympathetic, but are they any more real to you than before?
They've always been real to me. A person is a person at the end of the day. And I'm from Los Angeles, and I feel like we've been having a big issue with the homeless crisis, and I see all this anti-homeless architecture where they put the spikes on the park benches, and it just blows my mind. I'm like, we're treating this like a problem, like an infestation. These are people. Like, you can't just will them away or throw money at the problem and fix it. Each person has their own individual needs.
And basic needs.
And basic needs. My Uncle Vaughn, he just passed away recently, and he was homeless for a while. And I mean, he's a person. He mattered. He had amazing ideas. He wanted to travel to Egypt. He had all these ideas about astrolabes and astrophysics and all this stuff I didn't understand. But it's just it's not. I don't know. Everyone's a person. So that's just it. Oh, wow, I didn't expect this to get like real, y'all.
Do you think the police in LA would be as sympathetic as that one policeman was?
Girl, no. Come on.
Realistic in that aspect, right?
I see what you're saying. I don't know. Like I said, people are people. You know, there are individuals who are officers who might, you know, be as nice as that officer was in our film. But yeah, maybe it wasn't a completely accurate portrayal. I'll give you that.
Hi, first of all, that was really good, thank you. So I just have a question, so I kind of just want my question. So what did you take into that, things that you liked and you got to keep from set?
A toothbrush?
I know every time I looked up, I was like, this man is about his hygiene. Nails fully grown out, but he's brushing his teeth, I'll tell you that. I took my Kirkland jeans. Anybody who's here from TikTok, you know I took my Kirkland jeans. Shout out Costco. This is not an advertisement again. But the jeans I was wearing in the movie, they fit me unbelievable. So I took them. So that was how it was. The perks of, you know, being on set. Shout out executive producer.
Executive producer, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, let me just wipe those real quick.
Right here. And then,
Hey, I just want to say I loved the bond that you guys had, like between you and your brother, because like we don't get to see very many black men on screen doing that. I love that. I don't know. That was the thing I loved about the movie. Like as I kept seeing you struggle with him, like your brother, you're trying to like communicate with him, but it's like I don't know. You still had that love that you translated to the screen, and like let us see it. But that wasn't my question. I just wanted to say that was really good. But the scene in where the brother gets drunk and he comes back and there's like the writing on the wall. So on the ceiling, was that supposed to happen before he got drunk, or was that a result of him getting drunk? And so you were like, okay, hey, we need to lay down some ground rules because you've been acting a little wild with this alcohol.
I think it's supposed to be post him getting drunk. It's supposed to be kind of me teaching him a lesson, and you know, with him being. At the time when we were filming, it was like he's mute, and then we didn't know if he was mute or if he was, you know, handy capable. So we were trying to figure that out, and I think my best means of communication was writing on the ceiling. I thought that was the easiest way to get through to him, and I thought it was, you know, very brotherly. It's like, he's not gonna figure this shit out. Let me just literally write this shit out on the ceiling for him, like. We do not, you know, disobey the rules and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think it was in response to the party and the alcohol and, you know, him throwing up and me having to wash him. So.
all right, I think she might be the last question. How much, do we have time for 2 more questions? 5 minutes left, okay. You, and then you. We'll see.
I wanted to just say it was such a moving, beautiful film. I'm so moved by like the generosity of all the people in the film that came to help the boys. And I know that like you mentioned being friends with a lot of the actors and really getting to bond with the actors. So on a lighter note, were there any funny moments on set? Because it was such a serious film, I don't expect a blooper reel or anything, but were there any funny moments?
There was definitely some pretty funny moments in the scene that I have with Method in the kitchen. When I like started crying, the first take that we had, I blew the biggest snot bubble you've ever seen in your life. And we were like in this terrifying moment, and like we both just busted out laughing. So that's a good one I have from set. Me and Lonnie filmed this hilarious TikTok. And like, you wouldn't get it unless you were there, but just know it was really funny. That's it.
You did a wonderful job up there.
Thank you.
My question was, out of all the characters that are in the film, as you went through the first day, the fixing the role, because of the producer role, you understand the value that each character plays in the film. My question is, where did you see the most emotional intelligence or growth from you personally and the actor from the character?
Select question.
I know, it's my question to end off our evening. But a really good question.
Can you repeat the question?
Oh, where
I
did
can't
you
hear.
basically see the most emotional intelligence? Like, which character gave him the most introspection, I guess, towards how he can grow as an actor?
Thank you.
I think probably Eli. I don't know. There was so much that Lonnie did without saying anything that I felt like was so valuable to me as an actor. And being able to watch him, I was learning. I was like taking notes. I was like, go off, little bro. So yeah, I think watching Eli's performance was my biggest learning lesson.
All right, well, I think we should give a large round of applause. What's next?
We have Grownish coming out at the beginning of next year, the second half of our final season, which I'm very, very excited about.
Narrating?
Narrating, yes, I'm doing a little bit of narrating, y'all. It's gonna be fun. And yeah, I mean, watch How I Learned to Fly when it comes out on Stars. That'll be very exciting. And I'm gonna be the next Batman. That's a dream, y'all. That's a dream.
All right, Marcus, with me. Yeah.